If you're trying to grow muscle or build a booty and hit your body goals, you know you need protein. But if you're trying to stick to a budget, the meat aisle can be your worst enemy. The biggest challenge with protein is affordability and variety. We often default to eating dry, rusty chicken because that's what all the fitness gurus out there say to do. But that's also why we end up giving up and binge eating by Thursday. So how do you buy protein in bulk to save hundreds of dollars without getting stuck in a food rut? Welcome back to the Meal Prep Master Plan Part 3. If you've already finished Part 1 and Part 2, then you've already set your budget and you've already bought your non-perishable staples. You're building discipline and I am so proud of you. You're also using that Notion template, so again, I see you. This is going to be Part 3 and we're actually going to be doing a deep dive on the single most important ingredient, which is protein. If you're new here, listen up because you're going to need a simple tool to help you stay consistent throughout this series. Go ahead and see the description below so you can get your hands on my completely free Notion template that I use to help with my kitchen audit, with planning my meals, with budgeting. I do it all. It's going to include your kitchen audit and your meal prep budget, which we'll be using in today's episode to go ahead and track your protein. Don't forget, grab your free Notion template in the description below. Now we're breaking down my strategic protein haul into 3 different sections: fresh, frozen, and pantry sources. Buying across all 3 is really the secret to saving money, but also keeping things interesting throughout the month. First, let's go ahead and go over the foundational proteins that you should be buying throughout the month. You want to go ahead and buy it in bulk, cook it immediately, and then use it across different recipes. I know I was talking about it earlier, but you guys already know the first one is going to be chicken breasts. Of course, this is always going to be the MVP. Naturally, buying in bulk is going to give you the best price per pound. I like to portion it out and freeze it when I get home, or sometimes I just leave it the way it is because the Costco packs actually come portioned in 3 individual sections. So usually one section is enough for 3 days of meals for me and Dominic. So that's 6 servings. Another staple is buying ground turkey or ground beef. I like to buy both and then I kind of just use them interchangeably. Ground meat itself is definitely versatile. You can make a lot of cheap, quick dishes like chilies, tacos. You can make hot dogs. It's just so many things that you can make. Sliders, honestly. Depending on my goals, I'll get ground turkey or ground beef. So if you want a leaner option, you can always go with ground turkey. Now, making our way around the store, let's go ahead to the freezer section. This is where you lock in on your savings and your variety. We all know that seafood is expensive, but it's a great option if you're in a fat loss phase because it's a nice, lean source of protein. So usually when I'm buying fish, I like to buy in bulk frozen because I just save a lot more money. So fish I typically buy at Costco is the sockeye salmon, or I like to get the Atlantic cod. Both offer incredible variety. They're also individually pre-portioned, so it really ensures that you have 0 waste. Typically, if I see a good price, I just like to buy it, and then I add it to my kitchen audit. I also like to buy the tortilla crusted tilapia. This is really a convenience item when I don't feel like eating meal prep. It's pre-flavored and it's ready to bake, so it's definitely an easier option when the week just gets ahead of me and I don't feel like meal prepping. I can just pop that in the oven, add a carb, add a veggie, and we're good to go. Now, the next items that we're going to talk about are going to be your secret weapon to affordability. It's going to give you quick snacks with meal building that doesn't need you to cook. I always have eggs on deck. I actually do not get my eggs from Costco. I get Pete and Gary's eggs. You can get them at Publix. Eggs are just like that perfect form of protein. You can have eggs at any time of the day. You can have them for breakfast as scrambled eggs. You can have them as a salad, avocado toast. Use them in a breading for some type of fried fish. Always keep eggs on deck. Next is going to be Greek yogurt. I like to get the Greek yogurt drinks, and I also like to get just regular non-fat Greek yogurt. The non-fat Greek yogurt I typically use in desserts or I use them in my cooking. And then of course the Chobani yogurt drinks I use as a staple as for breakfast, a quick snack, a quick grab and go item for sure. It's a low cost snack that definitely helps me hit my goals and it tastes good. Now moving on to a fiber option, I like to get my black beans from Costco. I get the 8-pack in bulk. It's kind of hitting everything, your protein, your carb, your fiber. It adds volume, it adds texture. It just allows you to add that extra protein boost without adding additional meat to your dish. Now the next item, while we discussed this in part 2 already, Kettle and Fire bone broth, the protein content is just a huge bonus. I just have to repeat it again in this video. I use this when cooking any of my carbs. I add it to my sauces. You can add it to your stews. It just adds so much protein and flavor. I have to add it again in this video. But in this episode, the strategy is super simple. You just don't have to buy one protein. I think when starting your fitness journey, a lot of people just like to stick to one protein, and that's where you guys fail. Buy strategically across all 3 categories. Buy for your pantry, buy for your fridge, buy for your freezer. And make sure you're notating everything in your kitchen audit in the meal prep Notion template in the description below. Again, this is how we're going to be building discipline and consistency. Thank you guys for joining me in part 3 of this series. Again, if you haven't grabbed it already, don't forget to grab your Notion template for free in the description below. I cannot wait to see you guys for part 4 next week. This is where we talk about our pantry staples, basically everything that I have to make meal prepping 10 times easier. We're diving into what makes a great pantry grocery list and how to organize your kitchen to keep the system going strong. So you won't want to miss it, so I hope you're subscribed and like this video if you found it helpful. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.